and one of the teams that is featured prominently on TexasFootball.com/rankings is the College Station Cougars. They come away with an emphatic, impressive 23-14 win over their rival A&M Consolidated. And here to talk about his unbeaten 6-0 College Station Cougars is the head coach of those Cougars, Coach Steve Huff. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
How? I imagine that it's a good day in College Station, at least on your side of town. Aggies win, and now College Station High gets the big win over the rival.
There's no doubt that's definitely a big win in our town, and it does definitely help the weekend go by.
I want to ask you a little bit about how you get your kids prepared for that game. There was a big spotlight on this game. Obviously, it's not just a big rivalry game, but also you guys are state ranked. A&M Consolidated is a very good team. The DQ big game of the week. You had to deal with our friend Neil Beasley.
Sorry about that.
How did you prepare your kids for going into such a high-profile game?
Well, you're exactly right. There are a lot of things that surround the game besides the game itself, and then this week adding to it a little bit with the DQ game of the week. But I think we started last Saturday. Talking to the kids about how it was going to be. They know the atmosphere, what it was going to be like around the game. So trying to keep everything grounded and constantly talk to kids about play the game. Don't play the game that's within the game around us. And stay out of that and stay off social media and all that stuff. So, it's definitely a sport, but I thought the kids handled it real well.
That's and you've done this remarkably without arguably your best player, Ty Brock, your quarterback, the guy who missed a lot of last year with a broken leg. Now, he suffers another injury, but you've had to turn to this, your junior, Marquez Perez, and he has stepped up wonderfully for you guys. What can you tell us about this newcomer? Because to be real honest, we didn't expect to see him.
Right, and Marc Marquez is trained as a quarterback for the last 4 years. He played inside receiver for us last year, and he was a backup quarterback. But this year he came in as a number 2 quarterback along with Ty, and so he shared reps every day in practice. It's even Steven as far as their reps are concerned. We're going through practice, so he was very well prepared to go in and step in and take over. I'd never wanted that situation, but unfortunately it was that way. But I knew that Marquez was ready, and I was very happy for him to have the opportunity. Like I said, not in that situation, but very happy for his opportunity because he's definitely worked his tail off to get there.
The real bell cow for your offense this year has been your running back, Chris Monroe Jr. He's already up to 740 yards on the ground, 8 touchdowns. How important for you and for your offense is establishing the run and especially getting your outstanding senior running back going?
Yeah, I think it's real important. We try to run some up-tempo type offense, and rhythm's pretty important for us. And Chris is a big part of that. He's not stature-wise, he's not like a 6'1" type running back, but he does a great job getting in and doing the dirty work, inside running. For his size, does a great job of inside running game. But another thing he really does a great job of is he's a very good blocker, and that's one of the things that we ask a lot of him also.
We're talking with Steve Huff, the head coach of the College Station Cougars here on DCTF Live. Interview brought to us by our friends at Atavis Rugby Tackling. Get involved in the conversation at #DCTF Live. Coach, your defense has been a real story this year so far, just dominating people. You've given up just 79 points all year. Has your defense exceeded your expectations, especially with some of the injuries you've suffered on that side?
Well, exceeding... I didn't really know what to expect going into the season because we do have a new pre-district schedule this year, so it's kind of hard to know how things are going to go there. But I think with some of the returns we had from last year and how well they played the majority of the year last year, I feel like we had the opportunity to be pretty solid on defense, depending on how we played up front. And I think up front, we've played, good enough to keep people off our linebackers at time. And one thing I really, really like about the defense right now is they're running the ball, and that's key when you're on that side of the ball.
Now I want to kind of shift gears to looking at kind of the bigger picture. You guys are 7-0. Things are going well down there in Cougar land. And this week you draw Brian Rudder, and Brian Rudder is a squad that's struggling a bit right now, a squad that's just 1-5. Is there a concern, and how do you fight the idea of we just had this really big game against our big rival, and now we play a team that on paper I think it's easy to say, oh well, we're the better team, we'll go out there and just beat them. How do you fight that kind of sense of complacency?
Hey, number one thing that we do every week and have since we've been put in the district 3 years ago is the fact that it's hard to win. I mean, that's what people don't understand. It's hard to win games every week, and especially when you're in a district that every game counts to where you're trying to go. So we keep the kids, absolutely honed in. As soon as we came in on Saturday morning, talked to them about the game on Friday night, we turned the page at that point right there and said, okay, we go to work. And just stay right there. That's all the talk is. There's nothing else about anybody else except Rudder, what they do. A lot of our kids know their kids know our kids. So, again, you're talking about more of a heated situation, not a rivalry game, just because it's not developing to that yet. But I think all three, or actually all four of the schools right here in this area, but three opponents, have that ability to be a rivalry game. So you look at it like that. It is a district ball game, and district wins are at a premium right now. And if you want to stay in that place, the only place you can go is one game next Friday night.
And of course, in District 18-5A, it seems like there aren't really any off weeks. You just beat a very good A&M Consolidated team. You've already beaten a very good Bryan team, and still on the horizon, Temple and Waco. When you take a look at how District 18-5A is shaking out, what are you seeing from your end?
Well, I said it from the get-go this year. I think there's going to be a very good football team that doesn't get in. I just think it's when you look at the district layout and how things are going to go through the last couple of weeks of the season, it's hard to predict. From week to week, it's hard to predict things anyway. Whether somebody's injured or gets somebody back from injury or whatever it might be, anybody in particular night can come up and take care of you. So, you stay and you look at that and you focus on what you've got. And I think, down the road for everybody, I think it's all about matchups now.
And I want to ask you, Coach, we're talking with Steve Huff, the head coach of the College Station Cougars here on DCTF Live, brought to you by Advis Rugby Tackling. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. And Coach, I think it's easy to forget for us, because you guys have been so good the past few years, that you guys still are a young program, a program that started 2012. You guys are the new kid on the block.
Right.
To what do you credit your quick rise? Because a lot of these younger programs, it takes a decade to get going. It seems like you guys have found a way to build quickly and quality quickly. How have you been able to do that?
I think first and foremost, great community, support for our programs, all of our programs throughout. And when I first got hired here, I was able to go out and what I feel like hire a really, really good group of character-driven coaches, and so to be able to work with the caliber of kids we have, and just the respect for authority and the respect for work habits and stuff that our kids have that come, obviously from their family, I think is crucial. And these kids here and all of our sports let us coach them hard. Their parents let us coach them hard, but at the same time, I think there's a good respect from the community on how those kids are treated. And I think it's been big for us. And also, it's easy to talk about all that, but we have great kids, and that's the bottom line.
That makes it a lot easier. He is the head coach of the 7-0 College Station Cougars. It is Coach Steve Huff. Coach, congratulations on your big win on Friday night. Thank you, and thank you. I'll say on behalf of Neil Beasley, thank you for putting up with him. I know he can be a lot.
I appreciate y'all having me on.